So, Paul, first of all, I think you understated your accomplishments today, because when you came in and started the BBBCA, our Chamber of Commerce had pretty much just collapsed, and they honestly probably hadn't been as effective as they would have liked to have been even up till that point. And you just came in like a whirlwind, and I mean, within a few years have grown your membership, as you just said, to over 200 people and businesses and residents. And I continue to marvel at the work that you and your leadership team does for Bradley Beach. So thank you for that. One of the reasons I asked specifically for this session, and you and I briefly had a chance to talk about this, is it actually just coincidentally came up earlier in the conversation about tourism. We, Bradley Beach, need to do a better job of segregating our assets, making sure that we don't collect money from you or give money to you out of the wrong pocket, i.e. the tourism trust. Unless you're focused on bringing people from out of town as well, which might be the case. And if you're doing that, a co-sponsorship is fine as long as we keep separate buckets. Again, we'll get into that later. But you mentioned the letter memorandum, and I had the chance to read through it. My first question, though, is the mayor shared with us, I think, two different letters of memorandum. They're identical, except there's a one has and one does not have the fourth item. The fourth item.
Yeah, that was my apologies. The fourth, I sent a draft. We actually had that draft go through a legal review, and the fourth item was stricken from it.
Oh, the fourth item was stricken.
Yes, correct.
Okay, good. That's actually good. Okay, thank you. So I went through, the fourth item would have been something I would have said probably wouldn't fit, but that's great. We're ahead of the game. But there are things in here that I really like, and then there are a few things that I think could be problematic, and I would want our attorneys to look at it, and I want you to be aware of it. I'd love to get your feedback on it. These are things I generally agree. I'm going to take us all through these because these are almost verbatim taken from the memorandum. So mutual website links. I think that's a really good idea. I applaud that. I wrote to myself, collaborate with the Bradley Beach Tourism Commission, which I know you do. Another one that I agree with, include BBBCA events on the borough calendar, events website, mayor's newsletter. Again, I wrote collaborate with tourism. Third one that I agree with, BBBCA will promote borough events in BBBCA website and social media posts. Perfect. The BBBCA and its members will provide inputs to borough and also participate in planning on town design and improvements as requested by borough. I like that. And my only addition would be to better define borough, because borough, the mayor alone is borough, the BA is borough, the entire council. I'd like some clarity on that. Another one that I like and I support, the BBBCA will secure approval of all events on or in borough property and schedule dates with borough. And again, just defining borough, who are you securing that from? Two more that are I think are really good. BBBCA will secure approval of all events on or in borough property. Wait, maybe that's repeated twice. Okay. That one I like twice, I guess. In support of town residents, businesses, and nonprofits, the borough will allow pro bono use of 719 Main Street as office address. That was the one that we struck. Right. Okay, good. Really just a couple of concerns. One of the statement says the borough will allow periodic use of town signage to promote BBBCA events, including banners, digital signage, and posters. And to me, that could be fine. It's just, to me, it's too general. I think we just collectively, we need a better understanding of what that commitment from the borough means. Are we paying for $10,000, $100,000, whatever signage? Is it, and where would they be placed? We have a signage ordinance. I just would like greater clarity around that. The borough of Bradley Beach and BBBCA will develop joint initiatives to support the growth and success of local businesses. Absolutely want to support local businesses. I want us all to be careful about joint initiatives. What does that mean? Again, I'm back to don't commingle these dollars. So we just have to clarify that further. The final question I have, and then I have two that I want to add of my own. The borough of Bradley Beach will supply will supply support by Department of Public Works and Bradley Beach Police for events organized by BBBCA when co-sponsored or joint events, and will be recognized as co-sponsor on BBBCA event materials. That is one that I'd like us to spend more time on because for a couple of reasons. One, I already said joint sponsorship could take us down the wrong path if we don't do it very clearly. That line of demarcation. But also this notion of open-ended use of potentially open-ended use of the Department of Public Works and the police. As someone mentioned earlier in their concerns about, are we not tracking this and we need to track it better? And you and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I would like the Borough Council, this is not on you and your organization. I would just like the Borough Council to do a better job of identifying costs to you and every other organization, charitable organization out there, just to make sure that we can say that's going to be $500 in collective overtime. Can you build that into your fees, or because we do represent the taxpayers, we do want to make sure that dollars being spent on any of these events are just coming from the right coffer. I have two things that I'd like to see if could be included in this that were not addressed. One is what I just really said, that Bradley Beach must maintain event costs, either actual or estimated, to facilitate the reimbursement of such costs. And that would include personnel, regular time and overtime, materials costs, equipment costs, other expenses. We do this, but I don't think we do it as consistently as we could, we, the council. So I just would like to make sure, we address that as a council. And then finally, the planned events by Bradley Beach Tourism and or the BBBCA, I would like to see some wording. Tell me if you agree and if your leadership team agrees, and you don't have to tell me tonight. I mean, let us know. But I'd like to see our events designed to benefit Main Street businesses in general. And where I get a little uncomfortable is when one business is given a concession for something and they may be benefiting when others with possibly similar enterprises don't have that opportunity. Or there might be, and not just you, this is for any event. It could be an event that we sponsor for ourselves. The notion of bringing in a food truck or bringing in some other external entity that might actually be competing with one of our merchants selling sandwiches across the street. So I would just like us to have a greater sensitivity to benefiting all businesses and really trying to minimize any advantages we give to outside businesses. Those are my thoughts, but I love the memoranda. I thought it was great. I just think there might be an opportunity to even improve it further.